As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion my father bequeathed me by will but poor 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He stays me here. It's okay, we'll wait. He stays me here, at home, unkempt, for call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox. His horses are bred better. He bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I'll no longer endure it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Oh, go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how you will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing, sir. I am not taught to make anything.
Marry, sir. Be better employed me not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you stand, sir.
Aye, sir, very well.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. I have as much of my father in me as you.
What villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till the other had cut out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet masters, be patient, for your father's remembrance be at accord.
My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant. Therefore give me the poor lottery my father promised me in his will, and with that I will go buy my fortune.
And what shall I do? Beg when that is spent? We'll get you in. I will not be troubled with you longer. You will have some part of your inheritance. Leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my own good.
We'll get you with him, old dog.
Old dog, my reward. True, I lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, he would have never spoke such a word.
Is it true? He grows upon me? I will physic your rightness and give you no 1,000 crowns either. Holla!
Calls your worship?
Were you not here to speak with me?
So please your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles, what's the new news, the new court?
There was no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke. They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many a merry men with him. And there they live, like the old Robin Hood of England.
Are you to wrestle before the new duke tomorrow?
Marry, I do, sir. And I came to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Therefore, out of my love for you, I came hither to acquaint you withal that you might stay here.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, and you will find I most kindly requite. I myself have notice of my brother's purpose herein, and by underhanded means meant to dissuade him. But he is resolute. Charles, I tell thee, he is the most stubborn boy in all Railroad Square, full of ambition and villainous contrivery against me, his natural-born brother. So, use thy discretion, and leave to break his neck as his finger.
Oh, I'm heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. If ever he go alone again, I'll never wrestle for prize more. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. I shall see an end to this. I do not know why, but in my heart of hearts, I hate nothing more than he.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my cuz, be merry. Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and wish you yet I were merrier. Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me any extraordinary pleasure. Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke my father, so thou hast been still with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know, my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have, and truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render unto thee again. In affection, by mine honor, I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, sweet coz, and devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Mistress!
How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Will you make the messenger?
No! By mine honor. But I was bid to come to you.
Oh, here comes Monsieur Le Beau.
With his mouth full of news.
Bonjour, Monsieur Le Beau. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
What color? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destiny's decree.
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
Hey, if I keep not my rank.
Thou losest thy old smell.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
You tell us the manner of the wrestling.
I will tell you at the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do. And here where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
There was an old man who had 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
The eldest of whom wrestled with Charles, was thrown in a moment, broke 3 of his ribs, and there is little hope of life in him.
Alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Thus men grow wiser every day. It's the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must, if you stay here, for this is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are coming to perform it.
Yonder! Sure, they are coming! Let us now stay and see it!
Come on! Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madame.
Alas, he is too young, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter, cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You'll take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak with him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Le Beau.
Do so.
Monsieur le Challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles, the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger. I come but in as others do to try him with the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir! Your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, fair princess, punish me not with your fair eyes and gentle looks, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything, but let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shamed that was never gracious. If killed, one dead that was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world, no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world do I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have left it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine, to eke out hers.
Fare you well. Pray heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! Where is this gallant who is so desirous to lie with his Mother Earth?
And you mock me after. You should not have mocked me before, but come your ways.
Now, Hercules, be thy speed, young man.
Oh, I would I were invisible, could catch the strong fellow by the head.
Excellent young man!
If I had a thunderbolt in mine eye, I could tell him down!
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
Oh, I wish thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me by this deed, hadst thou descended from another house, but very well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and the whole world was of my father's mind. Had I before known this young man, his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises in love, but justly as you've exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentleman, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, Chris?
Aye, very well for a gentleman.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which stands here is but a quinton, a mere lifeless block.
Oh, back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I will ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, Kai?
Have with you. Very well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles, or something weaker masters thee.
Fair sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you deserve high accommodation, much applause and love, but such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, sir, but I pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter to the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if you judge by manners. Yet indeed the lesser is his daughter, the other is Rosalind, daughter to the banished Duke, here detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company. But I can tell you that of late this Duke hath taken displeasure against his gentle niece, grounded in no reason other than the people praise her for her virtue and pity her for her good father's sake. But on my life, his malice toward the lady will suddenly break forth. Fare thee well, sir.
I thank you, sir. I rest much bounden to you. Thus must I from smoke into the smother, from tyrant duke into a tyrant brother. But oh, heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reason.
And there were two cousins laid up, when the one should be lamed with reason and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world.
Come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, you will try in time, in despite of a fall. But turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible, on such a sudden, you should fall in so strong a liking with old Sir Rowland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase, I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly, and yet I hate not Orlando.
No, faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Then let me love him for that. And do you love him? Because I do. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste, and get you from our court.
Me, uncle.
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if I do not dream or be not frantic as I do trust I am not, then dear uncle, never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Thou art thy father's daughter, that's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from our friends. What's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then good, my liege, mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Your sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for thy sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
If she be a traitor, why so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together. Still, we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. Her smoothness, her very silence and her patience speak to the people and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. If she outstays the time, by mine honor and in the greatness of my word, you die.
My poor Rosalind! Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine! I charge thee, be thou not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not? The Duke hath banished me, his daughter.
That he hath not.
No? Hath not? Rosalind then lacks the love that teaches thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No! Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us, and do not seek to take your change upon you. your griefs yourself and leave me out? For by this heaven, now at our sorrow's pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee.
Why? Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us? Maids as we are, to travel forth so far. Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I will put myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants?
Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me at all points like a man.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath reference to my state, no longer Celia, but Aliena. Aliena?
But cousin, what if we essay to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court?
Oh, he'll go along o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together, devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment. Woo!
Who's there?
What? My young master, my gentle master, my sweet master. Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland. Why? What make you here?
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of your graces lies, your brother. This night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it, and if he fail in that, he will have other means to cut you off. I overheard him and his practices. This is no place, this house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? I rather would subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
Do not so. I have 500 crowns. The thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store, is comfort to my age. And all this I give to you. Let me be your servant. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, when service sweat for duty, not for me. Thou art not for the fashion of these times, well, none will sweat but for promotion. But come thy ways, we'll go along together, and ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Go, master, and I will follow thee to the last gasp. With truth and loyalty. Since 17 years till now, almost 80. Here lived I, but now live here no more. At 17 years, many their fortunes seek, but at 80 it is too late a week. But fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's debtor.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free of peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when they bite and blow upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery.
These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Oh, sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this our life exempt from public haunt finds tongues in the trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Oh, come! Shall we go and kill us venison? And yet it irks me. The poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines, with forked heads, have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy, the Jaques grieves at that. And in that kind, that you do usurp more than doth your brother that banished you.
Spoke Jaques thus?
Yes,
Show me where he is.
I will bring him to you straight.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits!
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman.
I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I had rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye. Now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place.
I do so, good Touchstone. Look, you who comes here. A young man and an old in solemn talk.
Phoebe! That is the way to make her scorn you still!
But thou knewest how I do love her.
Partly yes, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thy wast as true lovers ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as such I think did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten?
Thou didst then never love so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love to make thee fall into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying the hearer in thy mistress's praises, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not parted from company, abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature and love mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er be ware of my own wit until I break my shin against it.
Oh, Jove, Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Peace, fool, he's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Else are they very wretched?
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, good sir. And to you all.
I prithee that if love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
I pity her and wish for her sake, more than for mine own. My fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man and cannot shear the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition and cares not to find his way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, our cottage, sheep, and bounds of feed are now on sale, and at our sheepcote now, there's nothing you can feed on but what is. Come see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
I prithee that if it stands in honesty, buy thou the cottage, the pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
Assuredly, the thing is to be sold. Go with me, and if upon report be you like the soil, the profit, in this way of life, then I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold, right suddenly.
Can it be possible no man saw them? It cannot be! Some villains of my court are of consent and sufferance in this.
My lord, the Roynish clown at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles. She believes, wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Find out that wrestler. Fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, hither, here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
More! More, I prithee, more!
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jaques.
I thank it! More, I prithee, more! I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks an egg. More, I prithee, more!
My voice is ragged, and I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, another stanza. I call them your stanzas.
What you will, Monsieur Jaques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well, if ever I am to thank anyone, I'll thank you. Come, sing.
I'll end the song.
Come, warble.
Who doth ambition shun to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, here shall he see.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday, in despite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
Thus it goes. If it should come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please, ducta me, here shall he see gross fools as he, and if he will come to me.
What is this, ducta me?
'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle.
The Duke hath been all this day to look to you.
And day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I'll sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. Duke to make.
Dear master, I can go no further. I die for food. Here, I will lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, sweet master.
Why, how now, Adam, no greater heart in thee? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I shall either be food for it, or bring it for food to thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy powers. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at arm's end. I'll be with thee presently. If I cannot bring thee something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. It's well said, thou lookst cheerful, and I'll be with thee quickly. Yet thou liest in the bleak air. Come, I will bear thee to some shelter. Thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner if there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam. Cheerly.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he has even gone hence. He was here merrily hearing a song.
Seek for him. Tell him I would speak with him.
He doth save me my labors by his own approach.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest.
Oh, no.
A motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. Oh, no, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, it is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after one more hour 'twill be 11, and so from hour to hour we ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh sans intermission.
What fool is this?
A worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It shall be my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgment of all opinion that grows rank in them that I am wise.
Good man, I need no more.
I've eaten none yet.
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemst so empty?
You touched my vein at first. He dies that touches any of this fruit till I in my affairs are answered.
And you not be answered with reason, I must die.
What would ye have? Set ye down in gentleness and take upon command what help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our tables.
me, I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But whatever you are, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush and hide my blade.
Therefore sit ye down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while longer. There is an old poor man, whom after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bite.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank you most for him, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrows. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths, bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. Then the justice, in fair, round belly with good capon line, his eyes severe, beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved. A world too wide for his shrunk shank. And his big manly voice turning again toward a childish treble, pipes and whistles in its sound. Last scene of all, to end this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burthen and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So have you seen? I can scarce speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Set to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
Winter wind, thou art not so unkind, like a man's ingratitude, although thy breath be rude, to sing hey-ho unto the green holly, most friendship vain, most loving mere folly, to sing hey-ho unto the green holly, most friendship vain, most loving mere folly.
If that thou were the good Sir Rowland's son, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Good old man, thou art right welcome, as thy master is. Support him by the arm. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
To sing, hey ho, unto a green holly, most friendship vain.
Not see him since. Sir, that cannot be. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is. Bring him dead or living. Thy lands and all things that thou dost call thine worth seizure, we do seize into our hands till thou canst quit thee by thy brother's mouth of what we think against thee.
Your Highness, if you knew my heart in this, I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out of doors, and let my officers of such a nature make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently, and turn him going.
Hang there my verse in witness of my love, and thy thrice-crowned queen of night survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above my true love's name that my full life doth sway. Oh, Rosalind. These trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run! Run, Orlando! Carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she!
How like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. Now, in respect that it is solitary, I like it very well, but in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
None, but that I know the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. That he who lacks money, means, and lack of content is without three good friends. That the quality of rain is too wet, of fire to burn. Good pasture makes for fat sheep. And a great cause of the night is lack of the sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Was ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned, like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court, did I reason?
If thou never was in court, thou never sawest good manners. And if thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin. And sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at court. You told me that courtiers salute not, but they kiss their hands. This courtesy would be most uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
For instance, briefly, come instance.
We are still handling our ewes, and their fells, you know, are greasy.
Why, do your courtiers' hands not sweat? It is not the grease of mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man. Shallow, a better instance, I say, come.
Our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again, a better instance, I say, come.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest, damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, I get that I wear, I owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness, am glad for other men's good, and the best of my life is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
Ew. That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together, to offer to get your living by the copulation cattle.
Here comes Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. The sweetest nut hath sourest rind. Such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find must find love's prick and Rosaline.
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled. No, tongues I'll hang on every tree, and upon the fairest boughs will I Rosalinda write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heavenward in little show.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter! What tedious homilies of love have you wearied your parishioners withal, and never cried, "Have patience, good people"?
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, sirrah.
Come, shepherd, we'll make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all, and more too.
Know you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
In a chain that you once wore about his neck.
I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord.
Nay, who is it?
Is it possible?
I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh! Wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful. And after that, out of all whooping,
I prithee, tell me who it is quickly and speak apace.
It is young Orlando, who tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Orlando?
Orlando!
Alas today! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? Oh, what did he when thou saw'st him? What said he? How looked he? Wherein went he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? Where out departed he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word!
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth this age's size.
But doth he know that I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There he lay, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry holla to thy tongue, I prithee, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know that I am a woman? When I think, I must speak.
Oh, soft, comes he not here?
Oh, 'tis he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I'd as lief be myself alone.
And so had I, and yet I thank you too for your good society.
Well, God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosa Blind is your love's name.
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers.
Not so, but I answer you right.
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not change for your best virtue. I grow weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking a fool when I found you.
Oh, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
Well, there I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lad, and under that habit, play the knave with him.
Oh,
Do you hear, Forester?
yes. What would you?
I prithee, what is't o'clock?
Should ask me what time of day it is. There's no clock in the forest.
Why, then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than could be purchased in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman, to be touched with so many giddy offenses as he hath generally taxed her whole sex withal.
What were some of the principal evils that he laid to the charge of women?
They were none principal. They were all like one another, as halfpence are, every one fault seeming monstrous until his fellow fault came to match it.
I prithee recount some of them.
No. I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man, haunts the forest, that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I can meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
You have none of my uncle's marks upon you.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. Then your hose should be ungartered, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoes untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me, believe it. You may as soon make her that you love believe it.
I swear to the youth by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and deserves a whip, as madmen do. And the only reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet I confess, curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one. And in this manner, he was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which point would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve him, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, for boys and women are for the most part cattle of this color. Would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love into a living humor of madness. And thus I cured him.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but come to my coach every day and woo me and call me Rosalind.
Now by the faith of my love, I will.
Will you?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Will you go, cousin?
Come apace, good Audrey!
I will fetch up your goats, Audrey.
And how?
Am I the man yet?
Doth my simple feature content you?
Oh, features, Lord warrant us. What features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the goats.
Oh, knowledge uninhabited worse than Job in a thatched house.
Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers, they do feign.
Do you wish the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly. For thou hast sworn to me thou art honest. Now if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would thou not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard-favored. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey as sauce to sugar.
No, I am not
A material
there,
fool.
therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Ah, man. A man may stagger in this attempt, for we have no assembly but the wood, and no assembly but horned beasts. But truly, if thou wert hard-favored, I would have thee be honest. And to cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut! Therefore I thank the gods that I am foul.
Well, praise be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But be it as it may, I will marry thee. And to that end I have been with a vicar of the next village who has promised to come to this place of the forest and to couple us.
Oh, I'm fain to see this meeting.
Will the gods give us joy?
Here comes the vicar. God ild you, sir. Will you dispatch us under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give this woman?
I will not have her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed! Proceed, I'll give her.
Hey, good master, what you call it? God healed you for our last company. Oh, I'm very glad to see you.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox hath his bow, the horse his curb, and the falcons her bells, so man hath his desires, and as pigeon's bill, wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush, like a beggar? Get you to the church and have a good priest who can tell you what marriage is.
Oh, I am not in the mind. I am better to be married, for he is not like to marry me well, and being not well married will be a good excuse hereafter for me to leave my wife.
Come thou with me and let me counsel thee.
Come apace, good Audrey. We must be married or we must live in Badri.
Never speak to me! I will weep.
Do, I prithee, but have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
Have I not cause enough to weep?
As good as cause would one of desire, therefore weep.
His very hair is of the dissembling color.
Something browner than Judas's Mary. His kisses are Judas's own children.
No, but if faith, his hair is a very good color.
An excellent color.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, there is no truth in him.
You think so? Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You heard him swear downright that he was!
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a waiter. He attends here in the forest on the Duke, your father.
I met with the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was. I said, of as good as he. And so he laughed and let me go.
Mistress! Master! You have oft inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, who was sitting beside me on the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little if you will mark it.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death grows hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drop?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eyes. 'Tis pretty, sure, and very probable that eyes, which are the frailest and softest things, which shut their coward gates on atomies, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit to swoon. Do I not fall down, or if thou canst not? Oh, for shame, for shame. Lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wounds mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean but upon a rush. The cicatrice and capable impression thy upon some moment keeps. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not, nor I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, sweet Phoebe, if ever you find at some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then you shall know the love's invisible's arrows that they make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, for till that time I shall not pity thee. Why, I pray you, who might be your mother, that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? As by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's sail work. What's my little life? I think she means to tangle with mine eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can attain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her. And you, mistress, down on your knees and thank gently in your ear. Sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy. Love him. Take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Very well.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. No, Faith, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister, shepherdess, look better on him, and be not so proud, though all the world could see, none could be so abused in sight as he.
Dead shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Who ever loved who loved not at first sight?
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
Well, wherever sorrow is, relief would be.
Thou hast my love, is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure. And I'll employ thee too, but do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
Oh, so holy and so pure is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, I should think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I've met him oft.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy. Yet he talks well. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty, but sure he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. He is not very tall. But for his years, he's tall. He'll make a proper man. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Silvius, were they to have marked him as I have, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him, for what had he to do to chide at me? I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it, wilt thou, Silvius?
With all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Celia.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows.
Why, 'tis better to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these, but it is a melancholy of mine own, extracted from many objects, compounded of many symptoms, and indeed the sundry's contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler! Hi, by my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's, and to have seen much, and have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveler. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover, and you serve me such another trick? Never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love?
Pardon me, Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
A snail?
I of a snail, for though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now when I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Am I not your Rosalind?
I would take some joy to say that you are, because I would be talking of her.
Why then, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind in this mind, for her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith, will I. Fridays and Saturdays and all. Come, sister, you must be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What says you, sister?
Pray you marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
And I take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now, tell me, how long will you have her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain. I will weep for nothing, and I will do that when thou art disposed to be merry, and I will laugh like a hyene when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
But she is wise. For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I must leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours did won me. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, Rosalind.
You have simply misused our sex, and your love breaks.
Oh, cuz. My pretty little cuz. That thou just know how many fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom, like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather, bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Aliena. I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
And all sleep.
My errand is to you, Celia. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guessed by the stern brow and the waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at the letter and play the swaggerer. Oh, it's my life. Her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Oh, come, you are a fool and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure, she did write it.
Will you hear the letter?
I'll hear it. I have not heard of it yet.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
You call this railing?
Whiles you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me.
And by him seal up thy mind, whether thy youth and kind, will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die. Call you this railing?
Yes, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? No. Well, go your way, sir, for I can see that love has made thee a tamed snake. And say this to her, that if she do love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word. Here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where in this treeless forest stands a sheep hut, surrounded by olive trees.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, the rank of osiers by the murmuring stream, left on your right hand, brings you to the place. But at this hour there is none within, the house doth keep itself.
But I should profit from the tongue. Are you not the owner of the home I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend you both, and sends his blood-soaked handkerchief to the shepherd youth. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand of this?
Some of my shame and the how and where this was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When Orlando last did leave you, he promised to return here within the hour. Pacing the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, he came upon an oak. Great oak. Under it lay a rough and ragged man sleeping on his back. Under a bush, a lioness with head on ground with cat-like watch. For when the sleeping man should stir, 'tis the royal disposition of the beast not to prey anything that does seem as dead. He approached and saw that was his brother, his elder brother. Twice he turned his back, but kindness being stronger than revenge, he gave battle to the lioness, and hurtling before him, and from miserable slumber, I awoke.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
Was you so oft contrived to kill him?
'Tis I, but 'tis not I, since my conversion being the sweetly thing that I am.
Yes, but for the bloody napkin.
By and by. In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, and gave me fresh array and entertainment, and convinced me unto my brother's love, instantly leading me to his heavy strict. Here upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh, and all the while bled, and he fainted. I did recover him, and after a brief moment, he sent me here to excuse his absence, the stranger that I'm being, and to give this handkerchief soaked in his blood to the youth he does sport his Rosalind.
Oh! How now? Sweet Ganymede!
Many do swoon when they look upon blood.
There is more in it! Cousin Ganymede!
Oh, look, he recovers!
I would I were home.
We'll lead you thither. Prithee, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You're a man, but you lack a man's heart.
I so do. I confess it. Sirrah, a body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho!
That was not counterfeit. That was there's too much testimony in your complexion. That was an act of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do. But if faith, I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. I pray you, draw homewards. Good sir, go with us?
That will I. For I must answer back. How do you excuse my brother, Rosalind?
I shall devise something, but I pray you, commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
Audrey! Audrey! With Audrey we shall find a time, Audrey! Patience, gentle Audrey!
Faith, the priest in the woods was good enough for all the old gentleman's saying.
Audrey, there is a youth in the forest lays claim to you.
Aye, and I know who it is, and he hath no interest to me in the whole world. Aye, here comes the man you speak.
It is meat and drink to me to see a clown.
Got a good evening, William.
Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, gentle friend. Come thy head. Come thy head. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
A ripe age. Is thy name William?
William, sir.
A fair name. Was born in the forest here.
Oh, I, sir, I thank God.
Thank God. A good answer. Art rich.
Oh, faith, sir. So-so.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good, and yet it is not. It is but so. Art thou wise?
Oh, I, sir, I have a pretty wit.
Thou sayest well. I do remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Do you love this maid?
I do, sir.
Oh, then give me your hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Now then learn this of me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured out of a cup and into a glass, by filling the one doth empty the other. Your writers do consent that ipsi is he. You are not ipsi, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon, which in the boorish is leave, the society, which in the vulgar is company of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest, or to wit, diest, or to thy better understanding, I kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death,
I will kill thee 150 ways, therefore tremble and depart!
Do good, William!
God rest you, merry sir.
Trip, Audrey, trip, I attend.
Is it possible that on so little occasion that you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo and wooing she should grant, and will you persevere to enjoy her?
Question not the giddiness of it, or her poverty, or my sudden wooing, or her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Aliena, and say that she may love me, and consent that we may enjoy each other. For it shall be to your good. For my father's home and all of Sir Roland's wealth I shall estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you, prepare Aliena, for look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
I know where you are, for your brother and my sister had no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy. And in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will invite the Duke to the nuptial, but how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By the so much more tomorrow, I shall be at the height of heart heaviness by how much I shall think my brother happy in having what he wishes for him.
Then tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind.
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. If you love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, so shall you marry her. I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible for me, if it be not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. If you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Why, here comes a lover of mine, and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are there followed by a most faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd. Tell this youth what 'tis to love.
Oh, it is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of duty and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, all made of wishes, and all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
So am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? I blame you, me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
I pray you no more of this. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you. If ever I marry woman. And I will be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you. If ever I satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you. If what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. You say that you will marry me, if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you will marry her, if she be willing.
Well, to have her and death were both one thing.
So, very well. I have given you commands.
I'll not fail if I live,
Nor I!
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
The first time that ever I did see him, methought he was a brother to your daughter.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not, as those that fear they hope and know they fear.
There is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greetings to you all. Hello. Hi there.
Good my lord, like this fellow, this is the motley-minded gentleman I have often met in the forest.
I like him very well.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure, I have flattered a lady, I have been politic with my friend, smooth with mine enemy. I've undone 3 tailors, I have had 4 quarrels and like to have fought one.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
Yeah, he uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Oh, I desire you of the like. I press in here amongst the rest of the,
Good Duke, receive thy daughter. To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he.
Oh,
Nor
my.
ne'er wed woman, if you be not she.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me, welcome daughter, in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. Thy faith, my fancy, to thee to mine.
Let me have audience for a word or two. I bring these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick addressed a higher power, and to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where meeting with an old religious man was converted, both from his enterprise and from this world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all the lands restored to them again that were with him, exiled.
Welcome, Monsieur Le Beau. Thou offerest fairly to my daughter's wedding. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity, and fall into our rustic revelry, playing music, and you brides and bridegrooms all in measure heaped with joy, till the measures fall.
Sir, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on the religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court.
Yes!
To him will I. Out of these convertites there is much matter to be heard and learned. To you, your former honor I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You, your love, your true faith doth merit. You, to your lands and your love and great allies. You, to a long and well-deserved bed. And you to wrangling, for your loving voyage is but 2 months' victual. And so, to your pleasures, I am for other than for dancing measures.
Oh, stay, Jaques, stay.
To see no pastime I, what you would crave, I'll stay to know that your abandoned cave.
Proceed. We will begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
To see the lady, the epilogue, but it is not more unhandsome than to see the lord, the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, then 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. But to good wines they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better with the help of a good epilogue. My way is to conjure you. And I will begin with the women. I charge you, oh women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, oh men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, faces that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And as I'm sure as many of you as have good beards and good faces and sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell. Farewell.
tomorrow we'll kill people in Macbeth, so it'll be very fun and different, and then we'll return.